Hey everyone, I'm sure many of us are busy preparing end of year reports regarding product or marketing metrics. I was analyzing our end of month reporting routines and felt we needed to make them more efficient somehow. So, since this is the year of I was curious to see if there was an AI product that could help with this. And I found a spreadsheet tool called Equals, which is like Excel but with some AI power ups, which I'll show you in a minute. Now, for context, at VFairs, we report on full funnel metrics, and each line item comes from a different source. We start with marketing spend, which comes from Google Ads, and then site traffic from GA4, marketing qualified leads. They come from HubSpot, so do pipeline and deals. And then we've got amount won, which comes from NetSuite. Now, this is a simplified view, but you get the picture. At the moment, we have to export data from each tool, dump that into different tabs, and then summarize them using formulas. Of course, we've been playing with automations and plugins to ease this a bit, but I was sure that there was a better way. So let's see how Equals can help, and let's start with the first line item, which is marketing spend. So the cool thing about this tool is that you can hook your spreadsheet directly to the data source. There's no need for importing data manually. The way I can do that is to simply create a new sheet. I'll rename this tab to spend, and then I'll click on connections. I'll select a data source. Now Equals has a Google Ads connector, but this is a trial account, so I'll just use Snowflake for now to illustrate the concept. So I'll click on Snowflake. Over here, I'll use the query builder to pick up the table that has the marketing spend properties. So I'll just look for the marketing spend table. In this case, it would be marketing demo summary with total spend. Perfect. I'll click on save. I'll filter that down to 2023 so that it's the current year that we're considering. Click done, run the query, wait for a second, and boom, I get all the data in one sheet. Now, what I really like about this is that I can schedule this query on a daily basis so it updates on autopilot. I don't need to run this query again and again. So this means the data is always pulled automatically, it's always fresh, and that's cool. Now I'm going to go back to my full funnel report and check this out. I'm too lazy to figure out the formula to summarize this data, so I'll just hit Control J, and I ask their AI assist to figure it out for me. Sum marketing spend by month year. Go figure it out. And perfect. I get an answer, and I didn't even tell it what sheet to go and look into. It just figured it out, and that's really great. And the next thing I'm just going to do is I'm just going to lock these columns so that I can extend this formula across the rows and the columns, and I'll just put that over here and click on this, extend this all the way, and done. We're done with marketing spend. Perfect. So let's move on to site traffic. It's virtually the same process. So I'm just going to create a new sheet. I'll rename this to traffic. Perfect. And then I'm going to click on connect data source, GA4. This time I'm going to use the SQL editor, and I'm going to ask their AI assist to fetch me the data I need. So I'll do something like get traffic sessions by default channel groupings by date for year 2023. And I'll just let the AI assist go figure it out rather than me dabble into filters. And I get the query back. Perfect. I'll run this, and it'll take a second before it dumps the data into the sheet. And perfect. There we go. I get all the channels, and I also have the sessions against each one of them. Looks perfect to me. Same process. I'll go back to the full funnel metrics. I'll ask the AI assist to get me a formula to summarize this. So sum traffic sessions by month year. That's found in row 1. I'll click enter, and hopefully it'll generate the formula. Done. There we go. I'm just going to it looks well formed, so I'm just going to extend this to the right all the way. I think the test data doesn't have any data before August, but that's okay. So and we're done with site traffic. Let's do one more for MQLs. So click on a new sheet, click on connections, data source, Snowflake, SQL editor, and I'm going to click on Control J for the AI assist. I'll ask it to give me a query for MQL count by channel, by date for this year, 2023. And I'm going to let it generate a query for me. Perfect. So it's come back with a query. I'm just going to run it now. And I'll give it a couple of seconds before it dumps the data in here, and done. So I have the data back. So I'm going to go back to full funnel metrics. I'm going to use the AI assist to help me out with the formula. So I'm just going to say something like count MQLs for the channel in column B for the month year in row 1. Yeah. So I'll do that. Perfect. I'm going to hit enter and wait for a bit for it to fetch back the formula. I'm just going to make sure it's well formed. Perfect, it is. I'm just going to make a few edits here to make sure that I can extend it by locking these columns. I'll just use function F4 to do that. Perfect. Now that I have it, I can extend it downwards and then extend it across. Perfect. It seems that I have the test data has only one MQL per channel per month, but that's fine. All right, so next up, you can do all the Google spreadsheet stuff as well. So I can select all of this and I can quickly create a chart. Nothing extraordinary about that. So I can rename this chart, and this is a standard spreadsheet feature. But here's the cool thing. I could click on Control-J again and ask the AI assist to change it to a bar chart, which is really nice. I don't have to go through the selectors or the controls. The AI assist can do it for me. So that's pretty cool. Now, I can do this for any data set. So if you're a PM running NPS on your product, you can still bring that data through the data source and chart it out. I think they also have a data connector for Mixpanel. So if you have your product metrics there, you can pull that in as well. So now I want to show you this dashboard tab. This is kind of like Data Studio, but it's easy to stitch up. So for example, if I want to create a summarized view of all these tables and charts, I can just, let's say, drop any table range into the dashboard. So let's select the MQLs and put that in. Perfect. So I got the table in. So let me just add in, let's say, a cell, maybe the total marketing spend. And there you go. I'm just going to rename this to marketing spend. And it's pretty easy to stitch up. I can just add this site traffic, then let me select a chart. I can select any of the charts that I created, and net promoter score, marketing spend. And then the cool thing is that I can create an AI summary. So let's say I want to create an AI summary for the NPS, and it's just going to analyze the data and come up with a very intelligent commentary on top of it, which is really cool to see. And I can basically sort of, glean some insights from that. Now, what I really liked was the sharing capabilities. So I can basically take this dashboard and I can push it to Slack on a schedule, which is really cool. And then I can also potentially email this to a specific group of stakeholders on a schedule. But the best part was Google Slides. So I communicate a lot of my reporting through Google Slides to higher management. And although I'll still have to edit a lot of this because it still misses my branding and some of the commentary that I need to add, but it will save me tons of hours by just importing all those charts automatically. So that was a quick overview of Equals. I hope that was useful. And yeah, thanks for watching.